These are 12 country songs only those who grew up in the 60s will truly remember, and track number 5 is one only the real country fans remember. Number 12, A Girl I Used to Know by George Jones.
I say she's just another.
Released in 1962 on United Artists, this smooth, sorrow-soaked ballad climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Country chart. George Jones, already a staple of honky-tonk heartbreak, delivered this one with a voice soaked in lonesome wisdom.
There's a picture that I carry.
Behind the scenes, the song was recorded during a turbulent time in George's personal life. His marriage was unraveling as fast as his fame was rising. That emotional weight can be felt in every slow, deliberate phrase. Picture hearing this one late at night on an AM radio, headlights sweeping down a 2-lane road, your heart caught somewhere between regret and memory. Years later, Alan Jackson would revive the track alongside Jones himself, proving that its sorrow never went out of style.
Long ago, I don't.
For those who were there in 1962, this song stuck like a scar that never quite faded. Shifting now from whispered pain to a fiery anthem that turned country music on its head. Number 11, Don't Come Home A-Drinkin' with Lovin' on Your Mind by Loretta Lynn. In 1967, Loretta Lynn made waves with this bold chart topper on Decca Records. It became her first number 1 hit and launched her as a no-nonsense voice for women in country music.
You thought that I'd be waiting up when you came home last night.
Co-written with her sister Peggy Sue, the lyrics came straight from real-life frustration. Some radio stations hesitated to play it, but fans couldn't get enough. This one spun loud on jukeboxes and roadside diners where women smiled knowingly and men shuffled their boots in discomfort. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement. Loretta was done waiting quietly on the porch, and the world had no choice but to listen.
So don't come home a-drinkin' with lovin' on your mind.
After that punch of defiance, we turn now to a ballad built like a mystery novel with a tragic ending. Number 10, The Cold Hard Facts of Life by Porter Wagoner.
The cold hard facts of life.
Porter Wagoner's 1967 classic hit number 2 on the country charts and left fans stunned with its dark storytelling. Released on RCA Victor,
I'll take 2 bottles of your best.
it told the tale of a man discovering betrayal with chilling precision. Written by Bill Anderson, the song unfolds like a 3-minute thriller. Porter delivers each verse with mounting dread and emotional control. The plot twist at the end left jaws hanging. A man buys wine to surprise his wife, only to find another man surprising her instead.
I smiled and said, I'll sure surprise my wife.
Listeners leaned closer to the speaker, drawn in like it was the final scene of a Western. To this day, it stands as one of the greatest story songs in country music. Let's now swap heartbreak for a toe tapper that had every dance floor hopping. Number 9, Act Naturally by Buck Owens.
The biggest fool ever hit the big time.
This 1963 hit was a defining moment for the Bakersfield sound. Released by Capitol Records, Act Naturally spent 4 weeks at number 1 and gave Buck Owens one of his biggest hits. The lyrics paint a clever picture.
They're gonna put me in the movies.
A heartbroken man becomes a perfect movie star because sadness is all too real. The song nearly went to another artist, but Buck's guitarist Don Rich pushed for it. That decision changed everything. Imagine this one spinning in a chrome-trimmed diner while couples swayed beside jukeboxes and neon signs glowed in the window.
Ever hit the big time? All I gotta do is act.
It was later covered by the Beatles and again by Buck and Ringo Starr. That kind of staying power doesn't come often. Let's take a deep breath now and return to a tear-stained classic from the king of heartbreak. Number 8. She Thinks I Still Care by George Jones.
She thinks I still care.
1962 saw George Jones release another timeless ballad. This one reached number 1 on the country charts and has remained one of his most cherished songs. Written by Dickie Lee and Steve Duffy, the song almost slipped through the cracks.
Just because I asked a friend about her.
George wasn't convinced until someone urged him to give it a try. It ended up becoming a defining piece of his legacy. The quiet pain of pretending you've moved on while your heart tells another story. Picture this drifting out of a dusty jukebox in a dim bar with couples nursing drinks and old wounds.
She gets such an ideal.
Years later, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. From heartbreak, we now drift into a velvet-voiced farewell that echoes through time. Number 7. He'll Have to Go by Jim Reeves.
You'll have to go.
This 1960 classic, released by RCA Victor, spent 14 weeks at number 1 and crossed over into the pop world with ease. Jim Reeves sings like a man in a dimly lit room, whispering over the phone, trying to reclaim lost love.
A little closer to the phone.
His velvet voice gave country music a softer edge that would shape the Nashville sound for years. Tragically, Jim would lose his life in a plane crash just a few years later. That loss only deepened the weight of this song.
Should I hang up, or will you tell him?
Listeners remember hearing this on rainy afternoons or quiet Sunday mornings, the static of the radio blending with memories. Its legacy still lingers like a long goodbye. Let's now shift from heartbreak to a plea for peace and grace. Number 6. Make the World Go Away by Eddy Arnold.
Make the world go away.
Eddy Arnold's 1965 rendition of this Hank Cochran tune brought country music into the realm of elegance. It reached number 1 on the country charts and cracked the pop top 10. Arnold's smooth vocals were backed by lush orchestration that elevated the entire song.
Before the world took me astray.
It became a signature of the Nashville sound. At a time when country music often leaned rough and raw, this one offered something different. A silk handkerchief in a world of flannel shirts. Picture it playing in a softly lit living room, your parents slow dancing while the kids watched from the hallway. Its message still resonates.
Say the things you used to say.
When the world feels too heavy, let music take some of the weight. If these classics are stirring old memories, go ahead and tap that like button and subscribe. We bring you country countdowns every week to keep the golden years alive. Number 5. Mama Tried by Merle Haggard.
I turned 21 in prison doing life without parole.
Released in 1968 under Capitol Records, this autobiographical anthem climbed to number 1 and stayed there for 4 weeks. Merle Haggard poured his real-life regrets and tea into this song.
First thing I remember knowing was a lonesome whistle blowing.
It was his confession and tribute to the mother who never gave up on him. Every lyric came wrapped in honesty. No excuses, just the truth about bad choices and a good woman's heartbreak. You could hear this one pouring out of truck stop speakers, crackling through CB radios, or echoing from front porches at dusk.
Till mama couldn't hold me anymore.
It later landed in the Grammy Hall of Fame. Let's ease the tempo now with a love song that felt like a quiet promise. Number 4, Welcome to My World by Jim Reeves.
Welcome to my world.
In 1964, Jim Reeves once again delivered a timeless tune that felt like a personal invitation. It reached number 2 on the country charts and resonated far beyond. Unlike his dramatic ballads, this song had a simple, peaceful warmth.
Miracles I get.
There were no fireworks, just open arms and heartfelt calm. It played at weddings and farewells, on radios in kitchens, and long car rides through open fields. Even Elvis Presley would perform it in concert, drawn to its gentle pull.
Built with you in mind.
Reeves had passed by the time it peaked, making it feel all the more like a parting gift. Now, let's turn to a fiery anthem with attitude and pride. Number 3, Okie from Muskogee by Merle Haggard.
And why did love me up to Oklahoma, USA?
This 1969 single sparked national conversation. With Merle Haggard's signature grit, it reached number 1 and became a line in the sand during a divided time. Written on the road with drummer Roy Burris, it was part serious, part satire.
We don't burn our draft cards down on Main.
Merle later admitted it wasn't all literal, but by then, it had taken on a life of its own. It blasted from pickups and beer joints, and whether you agreed or not, it made you listen. For fans who felt overlooked by the cultural changes of the late 60s, this was a voice that sounded familiar.
And the kids here still respect the college dean.
It remains a cultural time capsule. Now, we turn to a ballad that became the heartbeat of devotion. Number 2, Stand By Your Man by Tammy Wynette. Released in 1968 on Epic Records, Tammy Wynette co-wrote this ballad in under 15 minutes. Yet it went on to define her career and change the genre.
Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
It was controversial for some, empowering for others, but unforgettable to everyone. Tammy's voice soared with emotion, capturing the complexity of loyalty. It earned a Grammy, topped the charts, and sparked conversations across America. Imagine it playing from a record player while someone slow danced alone in the kitchen, holding on to hope.
He's hard to understand.
Tammy became the first lady of country music, and this song was her crown jewel. Now we close with a spiritual classic that crossed generations. Number 1, I Saw the Light by Hank Williams. Though first released in 1948, this song became a beloved staple throughout the 1960s. It was sung in churches, on front porches, and covered by artists like Roy Acuff and Connie Smith.
Your Savior in, and Jesus came like an angel in.
For kids growing up in the 60s, it was often one of the first songs they learned by heart. Its message of redemption and hope rang out clearly. Hank Williams didn't live to see how far his music would reach, but this song carried his soul into countless homes. You could hear it at revival meetings, Sunday picnics, or late at night.
And straight, for straight is the gate and narrow's the way.
When someone needed comfort more than anything else. It wasn't just music, it was salvation pressed into vinyl. If you've enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more country classics every week. And there you have it, 12 country songs only those who grew up in the 1960s will remember with full hearts and misty eyes. From George Jones' tear-stained melodies to Loretta Lynn's fearless fire, these weren't just hits, they were part of growing up. Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic ride. Whether you heard these songs on a car radio or danced to them at high school proms, they still live inside us. Next time, we'll explore the 12 country songs only those who grew up in 1950s remember. A new decade with new legends, but the same timeless heart. Until then, keep the music close.